Hello, Cheapara here. Today we're going to be going back to the Celebrity Beyond ship, which had its maiden voyage in April of 2022 and remains one of the best ships that you can get on and has plenty of features for family, for friends, and for ages young and old. But I will say with the Celebrity Cruise Line, this is catered more towards adults. There's lesser for families as a whole to do, but the purpose of these ships is relaxation and comfort. So take a ride with me on the ship and I'll show you some of the features on this vessel. First and foremost is these champagne jacuzzis that are scattered across the ship that you can just go across from the pool deck to deck 15 to be able to enjoy some of these jacuzzis in these kind of champagne style type of environments. They're very nice, very comfortable, and you have a view of the entire pool deck of the ship, including the magic carpet bar that is an elevator that goes from floor 15 down to floor 5 and changes its purpose from a bar to a lounge to a restaurant, depending on the deck that it's on. Moving on to the interior of the ship, let's go into the spa and gym. Especially for those that are packing on a little bit of weight with the uncompromising buffet and the 4 restaurants that are kind of the main dining areas of choice. And that's not even including the complimentary and specialty dining restaurants. The gym provides a bit of a way to kind of enjoy yourself by losing weight and feeling the healthiest as possible on this vessel. And as you can see here, the views from the gym provides you plenty of sea views, and there's plenty of equipment that is clean and available for use, even during peak periods. Now, I will caveat that if using some of the Peloton bikes, these need to be reserved ahead of time. Now, there are plenty of occasions that people will just get onto the Peloton bike without a previous reservation, especially during some of the empty time frames that you see right here that you have no issue in just getting on. But it is best to double check to make sure those Peloton bikes have not been previously reserved so you can take the time out uninterrupted on the Peloton bike. Now, if you haven't paid for any special spa packages, there are free complimentary sections of the gym and spa area that you can just relax and lounge, like this section right here. This is just meant for kind of an isolated relaxation period within the spa. Now, adjacent to this lounge area is the hair cuttery, which is a great salon to get your haircuts, and a barbershop, all located within the spa and gym area. Now, for those passengers that buy the Aqua Class staterooms, they will be adjacent to all these rooms within the spa, including the barbershop, the salon, and plenty of the rejuvenating options that they have within the spa itself, from more thermal type of rejuvenation tables and different types of massage areas and a Persian garden and things that are exclusive to the estate rooms as they connect to this spa area. Now, for those that want to be able to go to the gym, have a drink, or go to a show and want to do these things, and the teenagers that are along with you want to do something separate, they can enjoy the Teens Club. This is really something meant for 13-year-olds to 18-year-olds to be able to lounge, play video games on the latest consoles, and just kind of have an isolated room without their parents. So are you a coffee drinker or just like pastries and sweets? The Cafe Al Baccio is definitely the place to go. As you can see here, they have pastries along with plenty of coffee, cappuccinos, and frappes like this iced popcorn frappe that I'm having right now. I'm going to get this blended, but it is a delicious treat. Even Santa gets his morning pick-me-up here. As I identified in my previous video, there are plenty of places to eat that are complimentary, like the Ocean View Cafe or the Mass Grill, or you also have the option of 4 main dining areas that each have their own theme, from Italian to Greek to American. All these are available to choose from. Now, I would advise that if choosing to go to the theater during the main showing times of 7 and 9, if going during peak time periods, just know that there will be a 15 to 20 minute wait. They will give you a pager to return to the restaurant when your table is ready. The pager has a bit of a range for about 2 decks. However, I'd highly recommend not straying too far past the Martini bar. And why would you anyway, since the Martini bar is the hotspot of the ship? The Martini Bar is the social circle and social hotspot of the ship where many of the passengers will gather after a show and just kind of view what's going on to see if the bartenders are doing a show, dancing, and pouring your favorite drinks. There are plenty of different concoctions. You can get that at the Martini Bar, like an espresso martini or a bananas Foster, but there are plenty of favorites to choose from, and even some that are not on the menu that your favorite bartender might be able to make for you. This area of the ship also serves as most likely the primary area to hold the silent disco. So about once or twice during the ship's course of the schedule, they'll do a silent disco in the Martini Bar area, and it's really a great option for those that want to have a fun time and just see people with their headsets dancing at the Martini Bar. During peak periods, seating is limited, so just know that you might have to wait it out in order to get a seat at the Martini Bar and some of the select tables around that area. Note that the bar will close around 1:30, 2 o'clock, so there is a time frame where the lights come on and they'll kick you out. For those feeling a little bit lucky, and for those night owls especially, I might want to check out the casino if you're good at some card games or just want to try out some of the slot machines. This is a very large area, and of course, you can be able to just enjoy some time on the slot machines, have a drink, or again, play a card game with some of your friends and family or loved ones. I'm not much for losing any type of money, so for the most part, I stayed out of the casino because I am not lucky by all means. Are you a lover of art? Definitely check out the art gallery. Now, there is a screen in the art gallery that will tell you information about the art pieces available on that ship. As you can see here, I'm kind of struggling to make sure I can get this to work. It's like a little bit of a roulette. But once you select some of the art pieces that are on the ship that have tickled your fancy, you can check out some information like when the next auction is. Now, as I said before, there's a high concentration of passengers going to and fro the ship, and kind of centered around this area where the world-class bar is, where you can see down into the main Martini Bar. You've got the specialty restaurant Raw on the left, but again, there's a high concentration of individuals, of passengers, right after a show. So just keep in mind, if you're trying to kind of time your dinners and your shows and your enjoyment of the Martini Bar, this is a high area right after the shows end at about 8 and 10 p.m. respectively. Schedules for shows may change due to availability of cast, the weather, and the roughness of the seas, in addition to the complexity of the show itself. And speaking of the shows, if you're heading over to the Eden Bar and Restaurant, this is a great opportunity to be able to see and live almost in the show itself. The way that the Eden Bar and Restaurant is designed is that you're able to enjoy the show with the actual actors and trapeze artists and athletes all doing the show in the middle of the floor right next to you. And that's the whole purpose, to be able to almost feel like you're part of the show and just be able to be a part of it. Now, as I said in my previous video, there are limitations in terms of viewing, as if you're behind a pillar or if you're behind a wall, your visibility will be limited. Same thing applies for the club, which acts as a discotheque / bar / show area where you're almost a part of the show with the actors and trapeze artists and different types of gymnastics that are going on around you. You feel as a part of the show. But again, there's limitations in terms of the seating and the visibility of the show depending on where you're seating. Now, the acrobatics and the stage show that you see here in the club is a bit of a cabaret reenactment, as far as being a bit saucy and spicy and being able to just pull audience members from their seats and have them be a part of the show and kind of be a little bit playful and fun. But the theater is really where it's at. As you can see here, there are 20-foot LED 4K screens that curve 110 feet around the stage of the theater. And that screen can be utilized to really kind of envelope you into a different world depending on the entertainment venue's background of choice. Now, the shows themselves really try to combine a bunch of elements together. There is motion with the stage, there is the screen, and all the different features and abilities that those 4K LED screens can accomplish, along with the lighting and acrobatics and singing of the actors, along with some certain atmospheric effects as well. But sometimes not all these really combine and gel well together without some type of confusion and issues. Another issue that might arise is sometimes the songs don't necessarily hit the high notes, with many of your favorite songs now remixed or transformed into different versions from their original selves. But again, in many cases with the acrobatics, your mouth will be ajar with some of the stunts that are happening in front of you. Now, I'd highly recommend going to some of these bigger spectacle shows that are scheduled ahead of time, going between 30 to 45 minutes at a minimum ahead of time, if not even earlier, to be able to gain your favorite seat and get a good view. Now, this isn't necessarily the rule for all shows. Of course, if you have a comedian or a magician or a solo singer, the audience will be somewhat less or even a lot less than some of the bigger spectacles as seen here. There are some great musicians, there are some great solo singers, there are some great comedians, and there are some great spectacles. Not all of them are created equal, and just know that some are memorable and some are not so great. But at a minimum, you will see the hard work of some dedicated acrobatics and singers just pouring their heart out and seeing some amazing effects. And even more impressive is that the acrobatics are performing this and maintaining this stability and balance, while in some cases the ship is swaying back and forth in the sea. So highly impressive, and the hard work and dedication is shown there on the stage. And with servers serving drinks throughout the show, you're able to just enjoy, relax, and have a good time for about an hour. Make sure that after the show is completed, that the actors that'll be outside of the theater, make sure to congratulate them and tell them what a great job they did. So with that, guys, that concludes my part 2 of the Celebrity Beyond ship. I'll do another couple of videos based on the different types of excursions, sightseeing that you'll see on the different islands that are visited by the Celebrity ship, along with the Royal Caribbean as they go through their Caribbean cruises. That does it for me, guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you again on the high seas. Bye.